Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Well, this is this is it. This is the final episode for a while. Uh, this is it. So thank you everyone for sitting with me, and I have the best of the best as the last guest. We have Jared Hart in here, and this is gonna be it's gonna be great. I think this is gonna be top tier sitting around at home. So yeah, here it comes. But wait, wham, yeah, you jamming me. Here we go. Rocking in my rocking chair. You believe that? Take that right to the bank. It's connecting to Jared's internet. Okay. Hey,
Yo,
how are you?
we're hanging. How you doing?
I'm good. I want to point something out real quick. I just
Hey,
saw. I always turn off the comments, but right there I saw. Will we see you in Red Bank in August? No, because you won't see anybody anywhere because the whole business is closed. So no, I cannot make that any clearer. But as soon as you can, I'll do if I see you first. What about you? See you first too. You gonna be there?
who, me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
In Red Bank in
Yeah,
August?
you gonna come to the show?
Probably not.
Like when it happens, when it happens.
Oh, when it happens, yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. What
You
about
got you got to
but
send
now?
me an invitation though.
I'll send you like I'll make one up, like a nice embroidered one.
Yeah,
I can
I don't know.
attach. I know a place to get good cookies if you got invitations.
That's true.
You
That's
can
true.
send them. I'll send you one. And let me turn you up a little pinch. That's my hand. Sorry. I did that to Lucinda Williams. I felt like super weird. I was like, ooh, but I had to reach the volume and it was too far away.
Was it like you were reaching to her forehead?
Yeah. And I kind of felt like this isn't how I was like, ugh. So it was like unprofessional, but
Come on.
we were born punks, you know?
Sometimes you just gotta let loose.
Yeah, I think so. I gotta say thank you for coming on. Last
For
show.
having me. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Look at
I didn't know when we were going to do this. I didn't know that it would be the last show, but it feels good to just have a local, keep it local hero on the
just a
thing.
local
Hey,
yokel hanging hard.
we're, I don't know about that. I don't know what a yokel is. What is that? I'm afraid to say it. It's 2020. I don't want to get canceled on my own show at the last day.
I just thought it was like a townie, you know?
Oh, yeah. All
You
right.
know, yeah. I
Is
don't
that
know
okay?
either. Maybe I might have said something really bad. I don't know.
I
My,
just
my bad.
we can't edit it. It's live. It lives here. But how you doing? You all right?
I'm hanging. I'm
Yeah.
hanging. Just,
What's going down?
just hanging. Just laying low. Keeping my eyes and ears open.
You
Staying
going
safe.
to you going to restaurants?
No.
Do you go anywhere? How do you feel personally? You like? Are you like? What's your vibe?
Um, I'm very careful.
Yeah.
Um, my pops is older.
Mm-hmm.
Casey's, got some autoimmune stuff, so it's one of those things where we took it really carefully from the beginning, just for lack of information with everything. So we've been taking it really careful and being pretty crazy about stuff, and it's just more of just I wish I knew more.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
but we'll roll out, do the food shopping, take a walk the dogs, go to the park. But I'm not doing anything crazy just because I don't know yet.
Yeah. You pick up a couple tomatoes, wash them off nice.
Oh
That's
man,
we get everything delivered. We haven't even thought about the grocery store because it stays the same thing. Like
yeah,
the autoimmune, you gotta be careful, and it's tough. It's a weird thing to know, and I don't want to be the one who goes it's fine, and then like whoops.
yeah. I think that's the craziest thing. It's just not knowing any. Like if you get it, it's bad. And I have had friends that have gotten it, and it's
Yeah.
not fun. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's serious, you know.
Yeah.
So
Not a myth, everyone.
what's that?
I said not a myth, everyone.
No, wear the mask. Wear
Yeah.
the mask. Don't be a dummy.
Don't be a dummy.
That's it. Everyone up here though has like been super cool, which was crazy. Like in the city and everything, everyone's masked up, keeping the distance. Did some protesting at a distance. Everyone was super respectful and cool, handing out masks if they didn't have them. So I
Oh,
got faith. I got faith in the community, which is cool.
yeah.
But
That's good. That's good to know. You know, at least like, I don't know. It seems like maybe more thoughtful people in general, though, being at a protest. You know what I'm saying? Like
you
not
hope. You
what?
hope. You
Yeah,
hope.
yeah. Oh, you'd hope not your average kind of whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what have you been doing? You've been playing the guitar. What are you doing?
Just writing,
Yeah,
writing a lot, reading a lot,
yeah.
painting my house a lot,
You, what?
painting the house. I told you that.
I saw pics.
Covered still.
I like it. Hanif says read twice as much as you write. That's one thing I took away from that. I've heard that before. You read a lot though?
As much as I have time to, yeah, I try to. Especially with this, I really was like, I'm gonna knock down the wall books that I've built up and try. I just feel like when I'm reading, even if it's nothing that's very sophisticated, I feel like seeing new words that I don't use on a regular basis just kind of kicks you up a little bit.
Or even putting them in sentence structures that maybe you wouldn't have put them in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just the rhythm of the speech. I read somewhere, check this out. I don't know if you heard this, but I'd never heard it. But Bob Dylan said, I used to write out songs I liked. So if I heard a song by like, I don't know, this was in the 50s when he did that, or maybe early 60s, he was young. He would write out other songs that he liked so he could internalize the rhythm. And I'm like, I never thought of that.
That's
crazy.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
Makes sense too, especially the way that he recontextualizes everything to make it his own.
Yeah.
It probably just made that like second nature of copy and paste and these things that fit together so nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to try. I'll try it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll try it.
Yeah, let me know. I'll try it too.
Try together.
I like the glasses.
Fancy books either though, so don't feel bad. I got like the Jeff Tweedy biography over there. Nothing super. I tried to read like classic books for a while, and I just got so depressed by all the killing and the marrying the wrong person and the everybody dead at the end, cholera and such.
No happy end.
I got enough problems.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
I don't need your Wuthering Heights.
No whales for me.
No. So when you've been working on songs.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit down, what do you start with? Like usually, do you have a usual? I know everybody does things different, but what's your usual go-to? Are you like I'm a lyric guy first or a tune guy first?
It honestly depends on the situation. It's usually either riff, like a riff that's catchy to me, or like a one-line lyric that I kind of hear with a melody. It's either like the vocal melody is in my head or like the lead lines in my head. And that kind of enables me to put the chords on top of those.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I always try to start. Like I'll sit and demo that one line and try to build it out from there. I'll just put the riff down and throw 4 chords over it and see which chords work better. Rarely am I starting like just with the chords, I think.
Yeah, that's a good idea, just to do it. I think that's a common way to do it. I watched this. Did you ever see that thing? I think it's called like something like the Chase for Tone or Tone Tips or something. But it was like Ernie Ball did it, the string company, with Mike Ness. And it's like about an hour long. You can find it on YouTube. I watched the whole thing last night, and he said really interesting things. So I would assume that Mike Ness would have sat down and been like I'm prison bound, or whatever. Like he would have wrote it on acoustic guitar, which he does. But he said that he'll get like the bit, like the guitar bit, and he'll write the whole song, and then go with the drummer, get a groove, then have everybody else come in, then record it, then sometimes even record it professionally in a studio, and then write the lyrics by listening to it, which is crazy because that's what Jeff Tweedy said in his book. And that I've never done anything like that, but it almost seems like you'd finish more songs if you did that because it would put the pressure of having it done on. But at the same time, it would you know what? I wrote a lot of Sink or Swim that way, but not on purpose, but it just happened. Like because we would get together every week, so we would start jamming on stuff, and then I'd be like, all right, I got these chords. What's the words? But I was so surprised to hear Mike say that he did it like that. I would have thought he'd been much more like, Bob Dylan or Johnny Cash, like sitting there on his porch with his guitar. Really cool watch. Like I would check that out.
That's really interesting, and I've gotten yelled at for doing that a lot. Like,
who yelled at you?
Just from the rhythm section in general, multiple times they have felt like without lyrics and melody that they can't lock in the groove. But I've often found myself writing lyrically to the groove that pre-exists. So like I end up in a back and forth a lot of times. I've had that when we were doing the Scandals record. I had that conversation with Paulie a lot. I came into some of those without lyrics.
Oh, really? Okay. What about a guy called James Brown?
What about?
Ow! That's it. And you got to come up with a groove.
Yeah.
Gotta get the groove is in the heart. It's on the one. I heard Bootsy Collins say the funk is on the one. And if you get down, sometimes you could do it both ways. I could feel that though. I understand because the accents on the words. I know that well. I know that sometimes Ben would say that to me. He'd be like, I want to accent the words. Like, what's the words? And he would ask for the sheet of paper or whatever with the words on it.
Yep.
But not always. So I think there's a lot of ways to do it. But one thing that Lucinda said that I found super interesting is she was talking about how she got, I guess, she had a hard time being accepted by, like, she said Americana or whatever, but like, you want to call that music, I don't even know what to call it. But like, because her music wasn't exactly by the numbers like Americana, because it had groove in it and it like had a bass line and there was like rock parts. But I think that having that sort of makes I don't know, it makes something unique, like look at like Rancid, right? Never just a straight thing. It was always like a little reggae over here, a little ska over there, like there was always something more going on. Same with the Clash. So I can see that point.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think when you're starting the songwriting process in general, everything feels wrong.
Yeah.
So, like
I know.
So all of these things I feel like need to be taken on a case-by-case basis of like, this didn't work that time. It doesn't mean it's not going to work 10 other times. Because once you start thinking that nothing works, it's a bad hole.
Yeah. Usually speaking too, the bad doesn't really always end up being so bad. Yeah. But you can always, Craig Finn had the best, like he might be MVP quote was, most of the time you write a bad song, but you can always make it better. Like you can always make a bad song a good song by editing. And I was like, what? That's crazy.
It's a very positive way to think. He would be saying the positive.
Right. Gotta stay positive. Yeah. But so I think that like most of the time when you get that feeling and you're writing the thing, like how I work very well. We're sort of telling people things that we already know, but about each other.
Yeah.
But putting like the thing down and you like a lot of the times I go, oh, like within the first 5 seconds, I'm like, oh, but finishing it, there's something to be said because you never know.
Yeah, and you never know. Something I've realized recently, how long you can wait sometimes. So I've had songs sit for sometimes close to 10 years. There's a couple songs on the Mercy Union record that I had riffs for like 10 years.
Wow.
And it just didn't surface yet.
Yeah.
And,
say that.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan said that. I heard Noel Gallagher said that. I read in a thing. He said something was like sitting around for 10 years or 20, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anything that sticks in my head, a riff or a melody for longer time than I've ever, like, without demoing it. Like, if it's just still in my head for a year, I'm like, I gotta at least demo it.
Definitely.
There's
Yeah.
a reason it's in your head.
Yep. Absolutely. I think that that's the kind of thing. We were talking though. Did you check out? You checked out the Tom Petty thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, how cool was that though? To hear like it not quite be there yet.
Yeah.
That
It was
was cool.
it was cool because you hear it start and you're like, it's perfect already.
Right.
And you're like, this is a demo and it's perfect. I kind of hate you. But then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you worked on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it became real.
It was totally real. Like, but he even when it starts out, there even was that like chorus guitar and the harmonica. Everything's there, and you're
Yeah.
like, really? He just like it came out perfect. Like, of course it did. But
Yeah.
then you hear the second verse, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, this isn't quite jiving yet with the rest of it.
Yeah,
Okay, this is good information.
for sure.
I like that. I like that information.
I think one of the most important things about Petty is his cadence and delivery, and
Yeah.
how the less is more approach, where he's so simple but it sticks to you, like those lines. And I feel like that verse that was already in there didn't stick like obviously the verse it would tend to be
Yeah.
to be. And
Well,
then I start wondering, who did that? Was it him?
Yeah, who caught that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know, it ended up that verse didn't it end up in a different song? It ended up in like in whatever the last song he played on at the last show he played. That line ended up in that song. I always hear Jesse Malin talking about that, but I'm not sure what song that is.
I'm not either off the top of my head.
Yeah,
That's cool though.
it got by me. But anyway, still, it's so good to hear like the process. Like I almost sometimes I want to like show demos before they come out just so people could be like, oh wow, you know, like that was terrible. Like we did that one time with the 59 sound thing, but I was like really uncomfortable about that because I got it sort of like makes people question like which version they like better, and I don't really like doing that because I think that it's hard enough already to get someone to like your song, and you don't want to like mess it up by showing them like a version that's kind of like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But what is it? What is it?
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time telling people what songs are about even.
You know what? I don't think I'm gonna ever do that again.
Yeah.
I think that's a big mistake. I think like sometimes like writers, I heard Sheryl Crow say this like 15 years ago about, you know, that really cool Sheryl Crow song, like it's My Favorite Mistake, I think it's called. It's got this like cool riff, like it's like it was big on the radio.
Yeah.
Whatever. And like people kept asking, I guess like she was dating Eric Clapton or something, and they were like, you know, is this about Eric Clapton? And she was like, I'm not gonna tell you what it's about because A, that's weird, and B, because if I tell you what it's about, then it's not about whatever you think. It's not your song anymore. It's not your song anymore. It's just my song.
Exactly.
And that I think is the latter part of that statement is I think the pinnacle. Like I've talked to some people like about one in particular who told me that one of my favorite songs was written on a toilet, and it ruined the song entirely because it's not the kind of song that should come from the toilet.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, are you kidding? And to this day I don't know if he was kidding or not, but it was so bummed. I was bummed.
Yeah. You'll have to let me know what that was on the side.
On the fly.
Yeah, hit me on the side. Yeah. I feel you on that. I've had so many times of like, I try to make lyrics. I found like a real beauty in being specific enough to yourself to where the description is your words and words that you see and use, but have it enough to where it can be someone else's full context, like to their life.
Totally.
And the same thing. I've had songs where I've like loved that song to death, and it has meant that the artist does an interview, and it means nowhere near what it was when I was listening to it, and it just shattered me like completely. Right. So I think that's a dangerous game.
It is a dangerous game. But I think that you have like you have something that's cool where you have like catchphrases that are like inside jokes with your friends. That's something that I love that you do, and like so many other. There's like so many bands that I've liked. It's almost like a theme with like bands that I like really liked when I was a kid. Like you would get like an Avail record, and I remember like. I think it was like it was even like the last one, which like I guess people, unbeknownst to me, people didn't think was a great record, but I loved it. It was Front Porch Stories, and he would be like talking about like bullet holes in Atka Yard and like all this like specific places that I was like, yeah, man, like where's that? Like that's cool. And you have like Chips and Vicks and like these like really specific Bet Max, this kind of stuff. That's cool because it's like an identity of its own that's not at all conjured, which is super, super cool. So I think that is like, that's a really great way to have, like, I don't know, kind of like your personal thing, but then an identifiable thing. It's cool.
Totally.
Yeah. Where's that?
What's up?
Like, where does that come from?
I kind of felt the same way growing up, where like all the bands I loved talked about where they were from, their friends, and what it meant to them, and it reflected so much of what I was seeing around me and myself and my friends and my life, but it was theirs. And I think it always was one of those things about putting your stamp on it and like making your voice heard and your people heard. And I've also always thought, like, when it came to taglines, like especially choruses and stuff, I mean, I'm sure you have songs that you have the whole chorus written, but that one line, that's the tag is missing, like the one that's gonna beat and hit. And I always think, like, would I get this tattooed if this was my favorite band?
Oh,
like, that one line.
That's a great way to think about it.
And if it doesn't, I wouldn't get that. Like, if you read those like 5 words in a line, a sentence, and they don't have an impact enough to put it permanently on your body, I'm like, that's a shit line.
That's a great way to say it. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good like bar to hold. That sounds like something that like Brian Keaton or Pete Steinkoff would have said. Because they have like such Souls have such a good system of like I can't describe it because like they've told me these things before, but I can't remember specifically, nor do I want to give away their secrets. But they have these like bars that they set. Like and it's always like something that they saw that they're wrapped up in at the moment. Like they get obsessed with these things. Like I remember the one record where it was all about Dilligath. Everything was Dilligath. Like it's the local. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's what's in my head. I don't know.
That's great though. That's like I think that being, like people, one thing I know, and like we know because we both been on tour with like Ryan Bingham, where, Ryan has such an identifiable like personality that goes with where he's from and the things that he was from. And I think that goes like hand in hand with all the like the punk rock and the folk music or whatever. The best artists are even like U2, they're identifiably Irish, you know, or Bruce Springsteen, identifiably New Jersey. It's like these things that are, I think it's so cool. Rancid,
Oh my God, the East Bay. It was, I think about it all the time, where in high school, my whole plan was to get in the car and drive 80 right to the Bay.
Yeah.
And then I just, I think Cousin Frank just sent me a old interview from Out Come the Wolves days of them with Matt Pinfield. And it's like super awkward, but they're like real shy. And it's like, it was the coolest thing. And they're talking about, I got to send it to you. It's great. It's so good. And they're talking about Journey to the End and how it was about kids thinking like the Bay was the end. It's like that was, everyone was coming to the Bay, and then they realized like, nah, it's not the place to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, like this is exactly what needs to be told. And I feel like a lot in the last like 10 years, a lot of music I listen to doesn't have that like location, like geographical weight to it.
Right.
But then as I started, like I delved like real deep into New York hip hop from like the 90s in the last like 6 months.
Yeah.
And it is so descriptive and beautifully descriptive of like to the dialect and the slang from that particular corner of New York, not just.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's what I feel like I'm attached to. Like,
right.
Totally correct. I've been trying to work that in a little bit more. I'm not writing songs about like pizza and Bayonne, you know, but
No, sure, yeah, but no, but that's where like I got all that stuff from the eight like 10 years earlier. But like the '80s, hip hop in New York was always about referencing,
yeah,
like Fab Five Freddy said this, so I'm saying this, and like I'd be like, yo, well, Tom Waits said this, so I said this, and
yeah,
like that's where the whole thing came from. It wasn't like I don't know, it was like but it was so in here because everywhere you went in the '80s and in the '90s, I'm sure it was the same for you. Like you'd hear like the radio, but like hip hop was so new and it was part of the culture that it was like exploding, and it was everywhere in my school. Like everywhere you went, that's all you heard, and it was just like it was in there. Like you'd have that, and you'd be like, all right, and you're automatically influenced by it because it was cool and like new.
Yeah, yeah, extremely. And the fact that you can trace it to these places, like specific streets, like down to the corner that it was on.
Yeah,
and,
I love that.
It's cool. Yeah, it's definitely taught me like how to describe something in a visual way without it being boring, without just saying I was on this corner looking at this street lamp. You know, there's those little tags that are inside jokes that a friend would know, but they end up becoming stuck in your head. Like people call Staten Island Shaolin. Like, what? You know?
Which is awesome.
It's so cool. So
yeah,
I feel like we need to do more shit like that, you know?
Well, yeah, of course. Like if you do that kind of thing, like, but that's what like even Rancid did that for New York too, and they were like, hanging on the corner of 52nd and Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have like they always would bounce like a locate, not them specifically, but anybody who uses a location, like the location in and of itself isn't really significant and doesn't really cause anything. But when you're like, you say this, and then you're like, you hit it with something heavy underneath the second line, and that's a good way to make that stuff really stick. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, killer bees. You know what I'm saying?
So good.
Anyway, this next song I want to play is called Cream. But imagine.
Oh, dude, I would lose it.
Parrot it. Just do But anyway,
I would go get the belly rocker right now, right over my belly button.
Get the money.
That's it.
Especially now. But I'm gonna play. I usually start this thing, so I'll play a song first to break the ice. I'm gonna do a song that you and I used to talk about quite often, and also I don't know, like it's just been on my mind. It's a Tom Petty song, but it's a weird one. It's from the Mudcrutch record. And this is a song called Trailer. So here's my final in whatever thing. Here we go. All right. Graduated high school, bought a trailer in a little park by side of the road. Could have had the Army, could have had the Navy. No, I had to go for mobile home. Yes, I gave it all to you, babe. All for you in that trailer today. Kept up my interest, kept up my payments. She never said goodbye, never asked why. And we used to dance to Leonard Skinner. She used to look so good at times. Yes, I gave it all to you, baby. cut out for nothing pays my rent. Yes, I gave it all to you, babe. All for you and that trailer too, babe. Oh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
I miss.
I like that. We used to talk about that one quite a bit. Such a simple song, but lots of stuff packed in there.
Remember we
So
saw him play it?
I know. I'm so glad we went.
Webster Hall.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
close. You know, like so close.
So much gear up so many stairs.
Yeah. But hey, thanks to Larry for getting us in.
Yo.
Good.
I sweated for that one, that's for sure.
Yeah. But
Hell
you
yeah.
know, it's worth it.
Yo, it was great.
So what now what are you working on now? You working on new songs? Or what do you got cooking?
Bunch of new songs. Like a whole bunch. It felt like I was talking to someone recently about it. Like when quarantine started, it felt almost relieving that the world stopped in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a shitty way, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it totally opened up everything to where I just had one thing to do every day, and it was wake up and try to make music.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't working, I could get up and leave it and come back. And I found like that ability to just do that constantly has made just the flow of creativity so much easier. Because when you have to start and stop so much, you don't realize like how much of a mental toll that is to get up and go to work and then not work on something for 3 days. You come back to it, it's not fresh anymore.
Yeah, it's
Deal,
a
I'm
little
sure.
weird. Yeah, of course. I hate walking away. You know, and like not being able to just like engage in it.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I hate having anything to do. Like stuff, you know, like responsibilities. Like you have like I don't mind it if there's like a routine with it, but like I don't like surprises. So like normally, you know, when the kids are in school, like I'll drop them off at school in the morning, and then that's writing time because that's the time where everybody's gone. But like that, you know, that doesn't happen anymore. But there, I don't know. You could find your time now. It's tricky though, so you gotta sort of. It feels more special because you gotta like earn it a little bit. You gotta like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like I mean, you have dogs, which is it's like slightly similar.
They leave me alone.
They what?
They leave me alone.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Some dogs do not leave you alone.
Yeah.
That's fair. But so you've been doing that now. What about like recording? Can you record at your spot or no?
Yeah, so like before this all kind of hit the fan, I had an interface that I bought in 2008 for like $80
Yeah.
that I've been doing demos on since I was using like Audacity or something like that. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet, get something nice. And then this hit, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, so I've just been sitting in the room with the 7B and making weird beats over stuff and clicking on pedals. And
Yeah.
my neighbors want to murder me, I'm sure. Every time I walk out of the house, they look at me like, oh.
Let them look.
They just hear me screaming into the window, this close to their window. I'm just screaming harmonies over harmonies, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of harmonies.
You sing loud. I don't sing as loud as you.
So loud.
That's all right though. It's good. It's good. You got young lungs, you know?
Yeah. But we're getting there. I'm happy. I think I got a good like batch of stuff to at some point figure out where it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. It seems like everybody thinks like next year will be something. I don't know. Well, who's? They don't tell me anything.
Yeah. You know what I love though too is that it doesn't feel like the wheel is spinning without you. Does that make sense?
No,
I
don't follow.
Like keeping up with the touring and the recording to a certain time, and getting it out at a certain time to make sure you have it for this and that. Like the pressure of just run and get it going, it's everything stopped. And I feel like for creatives, it's the first time everyone's really been able to sit down and slow down and think about what's important instead of just like smashing on the paper. Let's go.
Oh,
Road.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good year for good music and art in general, and that's what I'm hoping is the benefit coming out of a lot of this.
It would be good. I mean, that would be top tier result, you know? Like that'd be a good thing to have. But I think that you're definitely right. Like it causes like a pause, you know? Like when I put out my last record, it came out like right at the beginning of this whole thing. So it was sort of like no man's land of like nobody knows what to do. And then it was just like, I don't know. Yeah, like I guess it's okay, but like, you know, I wouldn't I wouldn't have planned it that way. Like,
Of course.
Yeah, because it's not fun. Because I'll tell you what the worst part about it though, from my experience, is like, you know, I'm never sure what I feel about a record until, because you can make Bohemian Rhapsody and you'll get some good you know what, it's not true. You can make Bohemian Rhapsody and you'll get, if you release it, sometimes you'll get great reviews. If you release it a year after, you'll get the worst reviews, and vice, and on and on and on and on it goes. And like, you never know, so you can't judge it by that. But what you can, I find, is like a surefire method of judging like the quality of like, you know, did I do it right, is touring, because you see the faces of people singing back. And as you go on tour more after the record, when people have time with the record, like when they're like really slamming you back with your own words, you're like, well, there's no doubt here, you know, this is happy. So like, that's always been like the test for me. And this time I don't have that. So I'm real like, what, you know, but I only have what I feel, which is like, I feel good about it. So like, that's good enough. But I miss the, you know, I still love that interaction of having to, you know, to bounce off. You know how I feel about it. Like I like that.
Yeah, and it's honest. It's
yeah.
Like they wouldn't come, they wouldn't know the words, and they wouldn't sing.
Right.
If they didn't genuinely enjoy it. Anyone could write a review or write a post it's a one-time moment, but to be there and physically present and mentally present, it's like a true testament to it. So I can't imagine that. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in.
That was the hardest part of it. Like, I'm not like, you know, like, I'm not saying it was like the worst thing in the world. It was pretty good. Like, and people were nice about it. And like, I got, you know, we had the social media response. So like, that's good. Like, cool. But like, nothing compares with like, hey, yeah, like there's a room full of a couple hundred people or whatever. And they've all gotten babysitters and made plans, and it's their night out and they've spent time. Like, you know, that's valuable for them to have been there. So, you know, nothing compared to that.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. But, so don't release a record during a pandemic is what I'm trying to tell you. Kids.
How do you plan?
I don't know. Vote.
You gotta have someone on the inside on the take, I think, letting you know it's coming.
Yeah, I didn't get the memo, so.
Yeah.
But it was like right at the crest too, so like the brakes were not pumpable, you know. And honestly, when the choice came, I was just like, let the people have the music. They're gonna need it. Yeah. I was like, put it out. You know, it wasn't like, there was never a thought of like stopping it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious of what it's going to change in the world in general of touring and venues, and because I feel like our lives, the lives we're used to, it's going to change a lot when it comes to all that. So
yeah, it could. I mean, maybe it'll change for the better. You know, like hopefully. Yeah. It's been a weird 20 years of this, like changing, like from, you know, everything, and then kind of just being like less and less.
Yeah.
It seems like the pot gets smaller every year, but whatever. You know, like, you don't do it for that reason, you know? And like, you go swing a hammer still and then play shows at night. That's what we did in the beginning. Why not do it again if that's what it came down to, you know?
Yeah. Keep swinging the hammer.
Got to do it. Well, is there anything you got? Anything you want to play? What do you think?
Yeah, we could play some songs. So I wrote this song on this here. See?
Yeah.
Not the reaction I was
What,
expecting.
what did you expect?
No, I don't know.
Well,
I
is that
was
a
waiting.
real one?
What?
Is that a real one?
Oh, I don't know what it is. I was waiting for the eye roll.
No, because if you actually, what was going to happen is if you did it, I would have been really impressed. If you figured it out, I would have been like, wow, this could be cool.
I took a master class on recorder.
Is that a recorder though, or
no? I got it at Trader Joe's or something. Cracker Barrel.
Oh, a Cracker Barrel. I love a Cracker Barrel.
I think I bought that on the way back from Fest once, and I played the Titanic theme the whole way home and drove everyone nuts.
Must have.
Yeah. What could I play? I could play a new one. The Titanic theme?
Yeah, why not? It's great. You gotta play the music bit. Where's the music?
I don't know how to play the thing. Just a prop. It's just a prop.
Oh, fair enough. But play whatever you want. It's your time. Your time.
It's my time. This is one I've been working on. I think it's the first one I finished. So.
All right. See, this is good stuff.
Let's have some fun.
Do it.
Feel like a stranger on goddamn home. Say that you're fighting, sink like a stone. Follow me, being alone, let me know. You said we need space, I didn't totally agree. Stretch yourself thin while learn to be free. When you return, the flame wasn't meant for me, let me know. If you leave for someone bigger, I would understand. Fall for someone richer, babe, go on, take the hand. Ask me to forgive you, do not think I can let you go. I would understand. Packed up the car, said, won't see you soon. Show up on the porch, ask me what to do. Against all intuition, I said, it's all up to you, let me know. Said, I'll keep the cat, you keep the man as you hand me the leash. Made your demand, she said, good luck, quote unquote, rocking your band, let me know. If you leave for someone bigger, I would understand. Fall for someone richer, babe, go on, take the hand. Ask me to forgive you, do not think I can let you go. I would understand. Oh, 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 Late night. If you leave someone bigger, I would understand. For someone richer, babe, go on, take the land. Ask me to forgive you. Nothing can let you go. I would understand. Whoa, 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 whoa. Say that the lightning never strikes twice. No one prepares you to come out alive.
That's great. That's a new one?
That is.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Thanks, bud.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna record it all loud and crazy, or is it gonna stay like that? What's the deal?
I have a demo of it, with like some real light kind of just ambient drums and some
Yeah,
noises and stuff. But
it sounds great.
thanks. We've been having
Yeah,
fun with it.
that's awesome. Good.
Thanks.
That's good. Good to hear. See,
Feels good to do it. I've been anxious about it. I'm like, gotta play something new. Been sitting here for how long?
I like that. I mean, I like Steph did it from Pop, and Craig Finn did it. They played brand new songs, and I was like, oh, I was like, I wouldn't. I thought it was awesome, but I wouldn't have done it. I would be chicken, but they just did it, and I was like, wow, this is great. So now,
Yeah.
now you're in the canon. That's great.
Yeah,
But
we're there.
yeah. So what do you think? You gonna like try to record during this or what?
I don't know. I mean, I have just a huge group of songs between like Mercy Union songs we were working on already, and this whole big batch that I just got to finish them and then figure out what the best move is. And I mean, I don't know what studios are doing at the moment. I don't know if anyone's open or what the deal is, but I guess I got to figure it out at some point. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm kind of not sure what they're doing. I mean, maybe some are open. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna probably do the same thing. Like just do stuff at home, yeah, and
yeah,
just see how it'll work, and like try to. I kind of got a bunch of stuff, same as you, and just was like, I don't know, like I need this,
yeah,
and then just sort of work it out.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy how good you can make stuff sound. Like with just the Apollo and a 7B, it's like
yeah,
you can make a record like this tomorrow, right, in the bedroom. And it's something that I thought about it. I was like, maybe I'll just get someone to mix it.
yeah.
But I don't know. That's a lot of pressure. I need someone there yelling at me.
I mean, someone can yell at you on the phone or on FaceTime too, but
Yes.
you
Yes.
them like the songs and they'll just like call you and yell at you. But
Yeah.
like I do think that yeah, like I was surprised at what you could actually accomplish with a little bit of the right stuff and like a couple good mics and something. I was like, sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good time to get creative. You never know.
You gotta start
And then
making tapes again. Just screen printed tapes, one-off tapes.
wind them up.
We'll
Get
hop in the Honda. I'll pick you up in the CRV.
Put the squeegee down on the green liquid that burns the thing. Yeah.
Mm.
Don't even bother opening the windows. Just breathe it all in.
Dude, I told my parents owned a screen printing company. When I smell that, I get taken back to a place.
They did?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they shut it down before I was in a band, so I couldn't make T-shirts.
So considerate.
Fucked up. It's fucked up. I'll roll over to yeah, terrible. I'll roll over to Dogwig. I remember I worked there a summer or two ago, and he put me on the dryer, and he's like, "Yo, are you cool? Like it's hot." And I was like, "Oh, it smells so good." Like, just.
Let me tell you, Jared. Here's a little secret about Dogwood Printing. They put everybody on the dryer in the summer.
I know.
That's where we all were.
I love it. Yo, I'll go work the dryer tomorrow. I'm doing it. Smell that plastisol. Plastisol smells good.
Mask it up. He'll go down there.
That's it. I might have to hit him.
Hey, we all might have to hit him up. That's some
Magic the
dark,
back.
son. But anyway, well that's cool to have. Like, let me know what you're. I want to hear what you're doing when you're done with it. Let me know because it
Okay.
sounds. Send me the demo if you want. I like that song. I'll listen to it.
I will. Appreciate.
You got to hit up Corey Brandon. There's a song he did called Charlene, and it's awesome. And he did it at home. It's awesome.
That's cool.
Just shoot him a text and be like, send me the song. It's really good.
I will.
But well, thank you very much though for coming on, and thank everybody for watching through these 12 weeks. I think it's been great.
Yeah.
I think it's time for me to go make music too and find out what I'm gonna do next. That'll.
Don't think too hard.
Yeah, I'll try not to. I'll try not to think too hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna do next and find out what I can make. By the way, did you see that? You did see the Sturgill thing where he did the bluegrass?
I saw some of it in the Ryman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Incredible.
Dude's band is unreal.
He's awesome. I like him. That's what like when I grow up I want to be Sturgill, even though he's like about 8 months older than me. But
The man is an interesting fellow, that's for sure.
he just doesn't care about he does what he does and that's it. And he's just kind of like, nah. I love it.
It's pretty cool. I mean, dude made an anime, didn't he? Make like a cartoon?
Yeah, about a samurai
It's so cool.
and hot rod cars, and he made a label pay for it.
I love that shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, but you gotta have a record. Like sailors got into Earth first before you get away with that.
Yeah. Right?
Stapleton probably get away with that, but
Yeah.
us two jokers, we're not getting away with that.
It'd be cool though.
That'd be super cool. I'd make a record about a samurai.
Right? Samurais are pretty dope.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, free movie with your purchase.
That would be pretty tight.
Yeah.
Might be onto something.
Kill Bill 7.
I think you come up with something way heady, you know? I think you could come up with like a cool samurai.
I love samurais.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Losers. Well, I don't know what that has to do with songwriting, but hey, everybody, samurais are cool. Thank you very much for coming on this show, and I hope that I see you soon, and I see everybody watching soon.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you on the old flip side, as they say. So, see you later, everybody. Bye bye. Thanks, Jared.
Later, brother.
Bye bye. Be good.